Aren't you glad game week 11 is over? Here is my team selection for game week 12. Let's get into it.
Yo, listen up, Rue is stepping up the game. Where fantasy Premier League runs in his veins. From transfers to captains, he's always on top, guiding you through every game week non-stop. They say Rue got that Salah flow. Welcome to the channel, enjoy the show. Wild cards, free hits with so much vibe. If you're hunting for success, then make sure you subscribe.
G'day, mate. Welcome back to the channel. I'm FPL Root and welcome back to another FPL video. So in today's video, like I said, we're going to be looking through game week 12, my team selection. Before we do that, please make sure you do smash the like on this video and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Firstly, though, we'll look at my game week 11 team. So 25 points I scored. The top scorer was Onana. A lot of people did laugh at me for having Onana, but he kind of saved my game week from being a absolutely terrible one. It was still bad, but in terms of rank, it wasn't as bad as I've had in the past. So yeah, Nana with a 6-pointer. Mark Gahey got a clean sheet as well. And then other than that, all blank. So there's not much else to talk about. I'm really disappointed with the Spurs boys, with everyone really, with Salah, with Haaland, with Alvarez. Yeah, there's not really much to say about this game week apart from let's move on. I guess the only positive is I did to take out Udogie for Tsimikas, so that transfer did get me 5 points, as Udogie got -4 and Tsimikas got a 1-pointer. I guess you got to take positives from this game week where there aren't that many clear positives to take, but we'll move on to game week 12 and hopefully it is a better game week for all of us. Let me know what you scored in the comment section below. So we will start off with the goalkeeper. So I decided to keep Onana, so he's got Luton at home. I'm going to be keeping him for the next few fixtures as they do look really good. And it's shown in the last game week that sometimes you've got to prioritise fixtures over form, especially with kind of Man United. You know they can be a good team. It's just obviously their form hasn't been great recently. But with Luton at home and Everton away next, there's no way I'm selling Onana. And especially because he's a goalkeeper, I'm not wasting the transfer on that. Next up, the defence, we have a few, I guess, a few decisions to make. I'd say the definites is Mark Gahey with Everton at home. Palace, a clean sheet, one of the best in terms of clean sheets this season. So they've got 5, I'm pretty sure it is. And with their fixtures coming up, I'm really happy to have Mark Gahey, and especially with this home fixture against Everton, who have been looking a little bit better, but I've got a fancy Palace at home to get that clean sheet. Lascelles, Bournemouth away, is a fixture I'm happy to play him in. Unluckily, I did bench him last game week for his 9-pointer. So this week I am looking to start him before he does have a tougher run in. Bournemouth away, I think, is a good fixture for Newcastle to get 3 points and to keep a clean sheet. Bournemouth haven't looked good at all this season, and Newcastle defensively have looked really, really solid, especially now Dan Burn is going to be out until January, and there's no kind of time for Botman to be back, as that has been delayed too. I think Lascelles does keep his place for a little while longer. So yeah, really happy with that move. That transfer I made. It was just a shame I didn't play him last week. The position that is kind of up for grabs is Matty Cash with Fulham at home and Tsimikas with Brentford at home. So ideally, I'd probably go for Tsimikas, as I think Liverpool's defence is slightly better than Villa's, but he did get dropped last game week, so I'm a bit worried about that. I'll probably wait to see if Tsimikas starts in the Europa League. If he does, then I'll probably play Matty Cash. However, Matty Cash does have a shoulder injury as well, so that's another thing to consider. So if it does come out, Emery saying that he won't be playing and he is injured, then I'll probably start Tsimikas. It's not an ideal situation to be in, but at least I have 2 players that can play there that both have good fixtures. I just need one of them to start and play. So for the midfield, we'll start off with Saka. Really good fixture against Burnley at home. He hasn't really done it the last few game weeks, so he did get an assist in game week 10 and an assist in game week 9, but in terms of a goal, he hasn't scored since game week 7, so that is a little bit worrying, but I think Burnley at home is a good fixture for Saka. Last time out against Sheffield United, so another newly promoted side. Arsenal did win 5-0, and I'm sure they're going to want to bounce back after that defeat against Newcastle away in game week 11. We also got Maddison, who's flagged, which is a bit of an issue. He did come off, and Spurs has lost to Chelsea on Monday night with a knock. I think he will be okay, but with them fixtures coming up, Wolves away, then they've got Villa at home, City away, West Ham at home, Newcastle at home, and especially with how, I guess, depleted Spurs' team will be for that Wolves game. So there'll be no Romero, probably no Van der Ven, no Dogi. That's three of the back four out. Then you've also potentially got Maddison out, Richarlison, and Solomon are going to be out as well. So you only leave Brennan Johnson for that left wing spot. The squad's going to look really, really depleted, and I'm a bit worried about the centre back partnership. Hopefully, that means they're going to attack and not rely on the defence, which they normally do anyway. For me, though, I'm going to look at taking out Maddison if he is going to miss that next game, that Wolves away game. We'll talk about that later on in the video, but for now, I would just hold off to just hear what Ange has to say about Maddison. Spurs are the early kickoff on Saturday, so we will, I guess, have a chance of a team league, but I doubt it for Spurs. Hopefully, Ange gives us some news before then. Same with Son, really. There's not much to say. I think Son is a keep no matter what. He's shown that he can score against anyone this season. Scored against Liverpool, scored against Arsenal. So for me, number 9 playing for Spurs, down as a midfielder, he's a definite keep, and I do think he'll do well in this fixture against Wolves away, especially Wolves without Neto. I think they just lost that spark, and that, I guess, transforms to the whole team rather than just the forward line. I think the defense is kind of affected by that, as normally he could be that out ball, he could be that player to relieve the pressure a little bit. So yeah, really happy with Son going into that fixture. Also got Mo Salah, who at the moment is going to be my captain with Brentford at home. Yes, Brentford are not an easy team, but I think they do concede goals. And Liverpool at home are a complete different beast to their away form. The away form actually hasn't been that great this season, so they haven't won their last 3 away games. Draw against Luton, draw against Brighton, and lost against Tottenham. So for me, their home form is kind of what they've been relying on this season. And I think they will put Brentford to the sword and score at least 2 to 3 goals, and hopefully Salah can be a part of that. We've also got a Dingra, the Brighton winger, with Sheffield United at home. Again, it's a tough one because he's kind of not guaranteed to start. He hasn't really shown that much as well the last 2 games. So I'm worried about his place in the team. Hopefully he gets a rest midweek, which means he will play on the weekend against Sheffield United. I guess it's kind of a wait and see, but I'll probably just have to play him anyway, as he's only 5 million. So it's not someone I can stress too much about, even if he doesn't play. But yeah, we'll move on to the forwards. So for the forwards, we've got 2 City boys again with Chelsea away. Haaland is flagged, but he has been pictured in training already. So for me, I think he will be all right. And Man City do have a Champions League game this midweek, so we'll get to see if he starts that or is on the bench for that. And yeah, he's a definite keep for me, and I think that is a good fixture. Yes, it's not great, as I think Chelsea can be solid defensively, but we've seen, I guess, 9-man Spurs kind of contain Chelsea for most of the game. And for me, I don't think Chelsea are that good. I think they're an average team, and I think City will put them to the sword and, like I said, score at least 2 to 3 goals in that game, even though Chelsea's defense has not been too bad this season, but as of late it has dipped slightly. So yeah, I'm hopeful Alvarez and Haaland can both get on a score sheet. Next up, we'll move on to my potential transfers and discuss that. So a potential transfer I have been looking at is Maddison to Bowen. So obviously Maddison is flagged, and he has some tough fixtures coming up with Wolves away, Villa at home, City away, West Ham at home, and Newcastle at home. Yes, there's 3 home games in that, but they are some of the toughest games kind of outside the big six, and obviously Man City in there as well. And the only reason I would go Bowen is if Madison does miss that Wolves away game. Them fixtures don't look too bad when you add Wolves away in. But after that, if you just got Villa, City, West Ham, Newcastle, it's not the best. And with how depleted, like I said earlier on in the video, how depleted Spurs' team is going to be, you're not sure how they're going to react, to that first loss as well. So that game playing with 9 men did take it out of them. So rather than thinking about Madison as a whole, I'm kind of thinking about the whole team and how they will react because yes, Madison can score without the team playing well, without the team performing, but it does help if the team does perform. Having said that, Bowen is a player that has been performing, but his team haven't. So West Ham are on an absolute shocking winning run, I guess. They haven't won since game week 7, and they've only won once since game week 5. So they've lost game week 5, 6, won 7, drew 8th, and then lost 9, 10, 11. So although they have been shocking, Bowen has been kind of the bright spark of that team and still been scoring goals. And with the fixtures coming up, I do think he's a really, really good option. So Forest at home, Burnley away, Palace at home, Spurs away, and Fulham away. The only thing is the away games in that is not great. Obviously, you'd rather have players that play at home, and especially West Ham. I think they do perform a little bit better when they play at home. This is only going to be a transfer if Madison does miss that Wolves game. If not, I'll probably keep Madison and roll the transfer so I can have 2 after the international break. Let me know below what your transfers are going to be for this game week. Who's your captain going to be? Please smash a like in this video and subscribe to the channel if you are new. And yeah, good luck for the game week.